say for the record that Shauna made a charcuterie plate. So
not charcuterie.
It's the charcuterie plate. So
it was a little last minute. It ain't fancy like Brandon's be. Brandon be having all the good stuff.
I mean, next time if you want me to bring a little platter with the little pickles, little cornichons, I could do that.
Little pickles.
If
I had time, I'd have took my ass out there and got some of the pickles.
You should have said something. I could have stopped by Whole Foods to grab the little pickles.
Because you was out that way yesterday, but I didn't think about it until I was sitting there waiting for them to finish my car.
Yeah. It's all good to go now.
Yeah, I got new brakes and rotors all the way around. So I should be okay.
Oh,
for a little while long. $300 and something later. Jesus. And that was just for the front.
I need to take my car in to go get the shocks on the back wheels done. I'm putting it.
I don't even want to talk about. I had to get shocks on one of my cars. I can imagine what it's gonna be like on this truck.
I think they told me it was like $700 to get it, $600 or $700 to get it done. But when I got my transmission replaced, like now almost 8 months ago, they were like, "We could tack this on." I said, "Girl, I ain't got that. Just repair what can be repaired now, and I'll come back for that."
You asked for a lot, boo.
A whole lot. So, with that being said, welcome to this week's episode of Wine and Audacity, the podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Sicard, and I'm joined by two of my favorite people in the whole wide world. How y'all feeling this week?
I'm right.
You all right?
Okay.
Welcome back, Late Edges. You know you was missed last week. People was asking, where's she at?
Keyhive, she back.
Yeah, Keyhive, she back.
The non-existent Keyhive.
You know you got
Y'all
some
can
folk.
stop trying to jump us now. She back. We sorry.
You know, people got stuff going on. But you know, she's back, live and in color, braids still looking nice and fresh. You know, she
nails popping and shit.
You got them done.
Skin all clear and shit.
No, I'm about due.
But you go once a month?
I'm due next week.
2 to 3 weeks.
Okay. Schedule. Must be nice.
Baby, we got to catch her when we can catch her because she popular.
Oh, she is?
Yes.
Yeah, people come in and be like, yeah, I want her to do my nails, and then we can't get an appointment.
I'm like, no, you don't. You ain't gonna like them.
How long for her? Okay, I gotta wait 7 hours. Okay, I'm gonna wait right here.
They will wait for her.
They will wait.
They will wait for her to wait till she got an opening. She the best one in there. I promise you.
Is it her shop or she just?
That's the crazy thing. It's not even her shop. She the best one in there.
God damn.
That's how we ended up going to her.
She got a little seasoning, so she know how to do black people nails.
She was seasoning on your nails? How'd that work?
Let me tell you something. We go in there, we might give her a color, and she said, okay. And then she work her magic.
Oh, y'all let her freestyle and do what she feel. Oh, the trust is definitely there.
I went in there and gave, like last week, I went in there and gave her this color. She said, okay. She finished. I was like, listen.
My nail tech actually went back home to Cambodia. You know, I go in
Permanently?
No.
Oh, okay,
I go in once a month to get a manicure and pedicure because I ain't touching my own shit. So I'd rather pay somebody else to do it. They can massage and stuff. But she's like, I'm going back to my home country to visit my family. I said, how long is that flight? 26 hours. I said, oh, girl. I said, oh.
26 straight?
Yeah.
No stopping, no layovers, no fuel, no refueling, nothing.
Well, I think she's flying locally. I think they have to do a layover. I think in like, it's not South Africa, Cairo, Egypt, or somewhere like part of the way. I think she's going that way. So she stops somewhere in Europe or in like the Middle East and then goes the rest of the way to Cambodia.
Oh, okay.
But she said she's staying for like a whole month. So I was like, well, girl, you better, because that's a long ass flight. That's a long ass ride to go for 3 days to come back and be like, all right, well, time to be back in there for 26 more hours.
Yeah, ours is going away in October, and she's going back home to Vietnam. She said that flight is about 26 hours. And she'll be traveling with her children and her grandchildren.
I said, sis, when you leaving? So I can schedule my appointment before and after.
Yeah.
When you leaving? I said, I want to be the last on the books before you leave and the first on the books when you come back.
Yeah, mine looking a little rough right now.
You said, I'm going to tell you ahead of time.
Yeah.
I said, okay.
Mine look a little rough. My nails grow back. This is 3 weeks of nail growth. And usually after
mine don't grow unless I got the acrylic on them, because without that, I sometimes I still break these mugs, but
I usually end up scratching myself.
Refill, boo?
Mimosas is flowing. I don't think we'll be slurring this week though.
We should be fine. We
should be fine. It's just mimosas. Unlike last 3 weeks, we had Aaron on. They was in here sipping tequila. You don't know what we're talking about? The tequila was flowing.
It was. They, as in those two, because I don't.
And the crown.
No, we had what was it? They were canned Crown Royal like cocktails.
Yeah, it was like tea and Crown or something, or lemonade and Crown, something like that.
It was delicious.
That was the first time I had ordered them.
But I was in here tore up. I said I need something light. I'll either stay. I got my trusty water bottle. Did you order the water bottle I sent you?
No, but I keep getting ads for it. So that's the crazy thing.
God is trying to tell you something.
Never even looked it up, and I keep getting ads for it, and I'm like,
that's because the government listening.
I know.
They've been listening. So y'all ready to get into this topic?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. It's gonna be a good one. It's not a heavy one. That's gonna be next week. Well, week after next. But we'll get to that when we get to that. But today we are going to be talking about purpose and finding your purpose and what it means to, excuse me, y'all. We having technical difficulties. My script is showing its ass. Come on, sis. Open. Come on. Okay, here we go. So yeah, we talking about purpose and finding your purpose and what it means. And I think us, we are getting older now. And I think we've all in some way, shape, or form have questioned like, why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing with myself? Like, what will fulfill me? What will give me the most satisfaction in life? Because you don't want to look back, I guess, in your 60s or 70s and be like, I really wasted my life doing nothing. Or I really wasted my time doing something that in the grand scheme of things, I was never truly passionate about or it didn't bring me any type of joy, So, as we get older, I'm sure we've all pondered those standard philosophical questions. What's the meaning of life? Why are we here? Why am I here? Is there a point to all of this? One thing for me that has come up a lot over the past decade or so was purpose. I don't know about y'all, but around the age of 24 to 25, I hit a quarter life crisis. Up until that point, I had spent almost 2 full decades in school and had gotten used to that grind. And for the first time in my life, I didn't have a schedule to make. I didn't have extensive homework and after-hour studying to do. I really sat for a long while and started to figure out what my next move would be. Can y'all relate to that?
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did y'all have something similar happen to y'all around that age or maybe younger?
Around 24 was when I lost my grandfather at the same time. So it was like I was stuck. I was like I was already not happy because I was like, what do I do? At that point, my son was about 4, maybe 5. So I was like, what do I do at this point? Like I didn't know what to do, and then losing him, it was a whole lot, and I just didn't know what to do, and it was like I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure out where to go, what I wanted to do, how to do it. It was just a lot.
Were you already designing clothes at that time, or was that after?
It was during that time that I was doing it, but at the same time I wasn't enjoying it because people were taking the fun out of it for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that why you stopped?
Yeah, because it was like people would ask for stuff and then was like they didn't want to pay for it.
They thought they were supposed to get shit for free.
Yeah, so it was like I couldn't enjoy doing something that I'm putting my time into, and me, I'm a perfectionist.
Right.
I gotta see things through, and sometimes I will stay up all night working on something, and then you be like, oh wow, ask for a discount or you don't want to pay for it, or I start working on it and you be like, oh wow, my plans changed, so I'm not gonna need it now. Like I
remember that she did a whole prom dress for somebody and the girl backed out last minute. She had damn near finished that dress.
Did the girl pay for it ahead of time, or you did it with just the required payment?
That was my mistake. That was my mistake, not taking the down payment first. But this is people who were young, so I'm like, oh, these people might not have that kind of money. I was being too accommodating,
right?
And that's a lesson learned. So it's not all bad because I did learn that much.
Okay. What about you, Shauna? Did you hit a quarter life crisis like around 24, 25, 26? Were you, or any point, I guess, in your 20s or late teens where you were like, what am I doing with myself? Like, where am I going? What am I doing?
Yeah. I think I might have been probably around the same age as Key. I think me and Trey's father probably had just ended our relationship, maybe around that time, 23, 24.
And y'all were together 5 whole years? Or almost 5 years?
Almost 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, almost 5. It was like a few months short of 5 years.
Okay.
And I don't think I knew who I was. I didn't know who I was because I had been with this man since I was 18 years old. I didn't know what it was like to be loved genuinely and correctly. I guess it's the best way to put it. And I was somebody's mother.
Yeah.
And I didn't know really what my next step was going to be. And I wasn't happy in my job, but I was afraid to take the leap to go back to school, which is why it took me 10 more goddamn years. Yeah, so I think I was a little lost then, not understanding what I was supposed to do or that. Just take the steps, Shauna, and the rest of it is going to fall into place.
Okay.
I was too afraid to do that.
Okay. Y'all actually y'all ain't halfway partially answer my questions that I'm going to ask in a little bit, but we're not there yet, so I'm going to keep going. At this time, I also started to question my purpose, asking myself, what will fulfill me the most? What am I supposed to do with the rest of my life? And then, of course, at that point, I questioned, did I make the right choices by going to school and studying the major I did? Like Shauna's son, well, he wants to, but at the time, I wanted to study architecture. I loved, designing things like Qui. When I was like 11 or 12, my mother actually bought me like AutoCAD software I would have on our home computer when we was running Windows 95.
Oh, child.
Between playing pinball and
Oregon Trail.
Oregon Trail. You love that game. I'm gonna get you that game. I'm gonna get you that game for your birthday.
If you find it for me, please give it to me.
I'm gonna get you that game for your birthday.
Minesweep.
And number munch.
Did y'all okay? We gotta do a quick, we love sides on this show. Did y'all ever figure out the point of Minesweeper? Because I did about 2 years ago. I figured out the point of Minesweeper.
What was it?
So that when you open the game, it's just a blank set of tiles. You click tiles and you try to click all the tiles without activating a bomb or a mine.
Right.
The numbers that come up, you remember, it used to be like 1, 2, 3 open spots. The number corresponded to the distance in tiles of how close the closest bomb was.
See, now I want to play it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think you can download it if you can check your app store. I think it's in the app store. Yeah. And I was like, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. I said, wait, okay, so if that's a 3 tile, then a bomb is 3 tiles away in any direction, and you have to make sure you go in the right direction to either get a clear spot or not activate a bomb.
My whole life has been a lie. Let me find this shit out something years later.
Yeah, I just figured out a couple years ago. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, I said, wait, that's how you play Minesweeper. I just click and then just exit off and go play pinball.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right. Okay, but yeah, I used to design houses on AutoCAD. I used to get the drafting software, and it was what was 3D back in 1996. You used to see like the living rooms, put in kitchens and bathrooms, and put in like the cabinets and wall colors. I did all of that at that age, and I used to love I wanted to be an architect. And my another funny mention, my 11th grade trigonometry teacher, who actually graduated from Morgan State University with a degree in civil engineering, talked me into pursuing an engineering degree. He's actually also now my boss, but I ain't gonna get into that. Yeah. But yeah, he talked me into pursuing an engineering degree, and yes, that's my boss now.
I had to frown because I was like, was he my 11th grade teacher or was he my 10th grade?
It was my 10th grade.
It was 11th. He was my 11th grade trigonometry teacher.
He was never my teacher. I just harassed him because when I found out his first name, I used to call him by his first name. He was like, it's Mr. Such and Such, Miss Bacon. I was like, okay.
First name. But yeah, he was like, architects always need engineers, but engineers don't always need architects. And I was like, okay, I did it. And I ended up switching what I wanted to do, going from architecture, which was, I loved the design portion of it, and going into engineering, which is, there's design in it, but it's more of the technical side, more of the research side. And it's like, I should have stuck with it.
But you ever considered going back?
For what?
Instead, would you have to do any of your engineering classes, or would any of those count towards
maybe
architecture?
Like going to get like a master's in architecture or something like that, or like maybe a certificate
or something like that? Yeah.
I don't know. I never considered it. And to be honest, I could get. So Laid Edges is enjoying some charcuterie right now, and she is like doing the Matrix lean way back from the microphone so she can enjoy her snacks. That's why we started laughing.
I hate ASMR. I hate it, so I'm not trying to contribute.
Yeah, we had some of that in the last few episodes.
You didn't hear Aaron doing the crunch.
I almost choked him to sleep.
What was I saying? But I feel like I could do some design work now where I am and work in CAD or work in like MicroStation. Shauna's dog is passed out under the table.
It's just the way she laying with her leg in the air. That's why I'm laughing.
But I don't know. I don't think it would really be worth it to go back to school to get a whole degree in architecture, because that's another 4 years of school and, have to sit for exams. And I'd much rather just get, like an MBA, or maybe I wouldn't go back to school for a second engineering degree. Hell no. It would probably for me just be an MBA at this point. What's the dog doing? oh, Chase.
I wish I could be her right now.
Right.
Same, especially today.
And I don't know where Sparky ass and disappeared. He went upstairs.
Good. No noise. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, I asked the question, did I make the right choices? These thoughts went into overdrive during the lockdowns back in 2020. For the first time in years, all I could do was sit and think, like most of us could. We couldn't go anywhere. We couldn't do anything outside of going outside to take walks. You were basically stuck in the house, at least where we live. Because, a lot of y'all was in a lot of these states was out here just living your lives. Yeah. This led me to want to discuss finding our respective life purpose, and made me question if there is even such a thing. While doing research for this episode, I stumbled into an article from Mark Manson entitled 7 Strange Questions That Help You Find Your Life Purpose. And if you're not familiar with the author, he wrote the book entitled The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, which I read several years ago. It was a damn good book.
That sounds like my kind of stuff.
And I actually have the book at home if you want me to bring it.
Okay.
Even though you still have my copy of the Mother Black Hollywood.
I didn't get a chance to read it yet.
Girl, it's been 2 years.
I know.
Anyway.
My bad.
Yeah. In the article.
Busy.
Yeah, I know. You mean you're getting degrees and stuff. That's fine. In the article, Manson states, part of the problem is the concept of life purpose itself. The idea that we were each born for some higher purpose, and it's now our cosmic mission to find it. This is the same kind of shitty logic used to justify things like spirit crystals, or that your lucky number is 34, but only on Tuesdays or during full moons. Here's the truth. We exist on this earth for some undetermined period of time. During that time, we do things. Some of these things are important. Some of them are unimportant. And those important things give our lives meaning and happiness. The unimportant ones basically just kill time. So when people say, what should I do with my life, or what is my life purpose, what they're actually asking is, what can I do with my time that is important? Also in this article, Manson posed 7 questions that will make us laugh, but also maybe get us one step closer to finding out the answer to the aforementioned question. So, you ready to get into these questions?
Okay. I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. All right. So, number 1, everything involves sacrifice. Everything includes some sort of cost. Nothing is pleasurable or uplifting all of the time. So the question becomes, what struggle or sacrifice are you willing to tolerate? Ultimately, what determines our ability to stick with something we care about is our ability to handle the rough patches and ride out the inevitable rotten days. So now the question I'm going to repose to y'all. What struggle or sacrifice are you willing to tolerate in pursuit of a goal or a dream you have?
I would tolerate a lack of a social life. If it came down to having to cut back, on my social activities and stuff,
would you give up Taco Tuesday?
I ain't say all that. You're going too far.
You said social life is part of the social life.
I gotta keep something, Lord. But I mean, that kind of is really my only social time anyway. But if I really had to like buckle down and really start turning down, more stuff than I already do, I think I would, in the pursuit of trying to get this degree and better my life.
Okay.
For me and the boy.
Okay.
Because I need to change. Something has to give. I am absolutely miserable with my current job.
Yeah.
And I never thought I would get to this point. I dread it. I'm absolutely, every time they say something to me, I just get mad and madder. So yeah, I'm not that type of, that's not who I am. I'm not the type of person who gives the bare minimum. I always have gone above and beyond. Yeah. In my positions now, I don't have it in me anymore. I do the bare freaking minimum now.
Because you'd rather expend your energy doing something else?
Yes.
Okay.
I have reached the level of not give a fucktivity. That's the word. I don't care.
That's a word. Those are the words?
Fucktivity. I don't give. I'm at that level now. I'm gonna do the bare minimum to keep my job until something better comes along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think that it's just time to change jobs? Or do you think it's time to change careers?
I think it's a combination of both.
Okay.
I've been with the same department. No, I take that back. I've been with the same bureau for almost 16 years. I've been in different departments within that bureau, though. And I think the last time I felt this way was when the first position I had, the first 2 positions I had were within the same department. And I started feeling like that before I got my promotion from there.
Okay.
I was okay at my last place. I just needed more money, which is what made me move to the department I'm in now.
Okay.
And everything was okay at first, but now it's become too much.
Okay.
It's become too much. I wake up in the morning and just lay there like,
again.
Like, I can sell dope. I think I can get away with this. Like, how much baking soda is it?
Oh, okay.
I was watching Snowfall the other day. It was like, I feel like I could do this. Like, oh, shoot. Sorry, y'all. I'm over it.
Okay.
I am.
Okay. Now, Qui, we know that you write, and writing has been a passion of yours for years, not a year, but years.
Multiple years.
So what are some things, and since this is something you're actively in, what struggles or sacrifices are you tolerating right now in terms of, like, I guess, things in order to get writing done or to pursue your passions?
Well, I'm sacrificing sleep. I have definitely given up a social life. Like, I really don't participate in anything.
We appreciate you for being here, by the way.
Including dating. Like, I have zero interest in dating right now. Zero interest. Like, I was like, let me give it a shot, and then...
Recently?
I thought about it, and then, I actually met somebody, and that person just wasn't...
Yeah, this is the first time hearing of it, too.
I actually mentioned him to y'all before when we were hanging out.
We'll talk about this off air. Proceed.
I actually mentioned him before, to y'all before.
Okay.
She probably did. If it's alcohol involved, that's probably why I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
But it just didn't work out because it was like, he didn't seem very understanding of my time.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, like I can't. I'm not about to try and juggle this with somebody that don't get it and somebody that doesn't really understand what I'm trying to do. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, when we talked about one of the conversations we had about, the future and where you are now, I was like, the career that you're in now, is that something that you always wanted to do and, something that you're happy with? And I can't remember his exact answer, but I felt like he gave me a non-answer, and it was almost like he was just content where he was. And I was like, see, this is flag number one, that this is not going to work, because I'm asking you, about, your goals, your aspirations, your ambition, and you're giving me an answer as if...
Like a textbook answer?
Yeah, and it was like, for you to be content where you are, you're not understanding that I'm not content where I am.
Right.
You know what I mean? That I'm going to keep trying to get to the point where I'm content where I am. And it was like, he just didn't get it. So I was like, this is a reason why I need to just not...
But I think one good thing, and this I think is one of the benefits about us getting older and being in these type of situations, we can have those conversations now up front and be like, where are you at? Do we align in certain things? And if the alignment isn't there, it can be like, cool, nice to meet you, it's been fun, I'm out, versus spending 4, 5, 6 years with somebody and being like,
that sounds familiar.
You still sitting on the same spot? Shout out to Issa and Lawrence, I miss y'all. You still sitting in the same spot on the couch? You forgot my birthday.
In when I left, and
or you still in this job, but you complain about all the time, but you're not making any steps or any moves to actually go try to pursue something else, or maybe go back to school or do something to get yourself out of the situation. We really can be, our own. We really can worst enemies. We can, talk ourselves out of a lot of things. Oh, so for me to answer the question before I move on, because I was definitely about to move on. What struggle sacrifices am I willing to tolerate in order to meet my goals? I think for me, I don't travel as much as I want to. I don't. I'm already a bit of a homebody, and I think for me, it's slightly opposite of Qui, to where, because I'm comfortable being at home, I have to a lot of times force myself out of the house to do things, because I can't. I don't want to become a recluse, which I'm not going to lie, was a fear of mine during the pandemic, because I was like, I like home, my house and my couch and my TV and my bed. And
I just liked working from home because I got to be ugly.
Well, I mean,
I think that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
I loved being home so much that now I'm like, I don't want to do nothing but be home.
Right. So. See? And then I was like, I need to start working out. Of course, I used the excuse of, not going to the gym because, they don't have no mask on and, COVID. But now that COVID has calmed down significantly and, cases are down and, it's safer to start going out to places without wearing a mask. I could go back to the gym. I've maintained a gym membership this entire time, but I just have not been to the gym. I'll go to the gym and meet with my trainer, and we would train in like the multi-purpose room, and then I'd go home after that instead of staying to maybe lift weights to get on the treadmill or the Stairmaster, which I'm one of those weirdos that enjoy being on the Stairmaster. Yeah, I've becoming a recluse was actually a fear of mine, and there's a lot of times where I would just get out the house and just go ride somewhere or go pick up food from like somewhere in Virginia just to get out the house for an extended period of time because I'm comfortable, and being comfortable is dangerous.
I agree.
Okay, next question. And this may be a little bit triggering, so I apologize to y'all in advance. Love y'all.
Okay.
What's true about you today that would make your 8-year-old self cry? Something about the social pressures of adolescence and professional pressures of young adulthood squeezes the passion out of us. We're taught that the only reason to do something is if we're somehow rewarded for it. And the transactional nature of the world inevitably stifles us and makes us feel lost or sick. So, question again. What's true about you today that would make your 8-year-old self cry? I'm going to sip on it while y'all ponder.
That's a tough question.
It is.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Let me pose.
I don't think I'm where I thought I would be. Right.
Let me pose this. I guess a follow-up question, or I guess a pre-question after I asked the question. When you were 8 years old, where did you envision your life would be at 30, 35?
I thought I would be married with a family.
Same.
Okay. Did you think of like maybe what job you would be doing or like the life you would lead in addition to being married and having kids?
I wanted to be a teacher back then. And
really?
I got older and realized I didn't like other people's children. I used to want to be a teacher or a nurse.
I could see you in knowing you and how you are with certain things. I could actually see you being a teacher. I never would have considered that. Kids. Like
I think I would.
Barbara Howard.
Yeah. I think I would do better with
kindergarten,
like younger
first grade
kids. But these middle school and high school, I don't think I would have been able to do that.
You squared with somebody's child.
I'm like, I see you in the parking lot. You little bitch, come here. Let me stop. These kids, this is a new generation of kids. These kids something else. But yeah, that's what I saw.
Wow. Now that you mention it, but I would have never put. Wow.
I did. I don't know what it was. I think it's because I grew up around so many children. Mm-hmm. I had, cousins and I was a designated babysitter for a long time and all of that stuff like that. So I that's something. I think it changed probably in high school maybe.
Okay.
I changed my mind when I realized how much I enjoyed cooking and stuff.
Okay.
So that's when I started thinking about pursuing culinary arts.
And you ultimately went to culinary school.
I did. I didn't get to finish. That's a regret. I wish I would have eventually finished. Even if I didn't go into it as a career, I had fun learning a lot of the shit that I learned. I still use a lot of the techniques and stuff that I learned in that 1 year I was there. Yeah.
So even though you're now pursuing your BBA, would you consider possibly going back to culinary school part-time?
I would think about it. Because like I said, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun learning about food from around the world and different techniques that they use and different seasonings. And I tried stuff I would never thought I would try.
Did it feel like work or was it just fun like all the time?
It was fun. I mean, like the hands-on classes and stuff when we were literally like learning how to do things, that was the funnest part. Having to take them regular classes and learning them measurements and how to double recipes and cut recipes in half and all of that stuff, that was the work part of it. But
right.
Getting to create the dishes and people tasting it like, yeah, that tastes good as shit. I'm like, she know. Okay. That was the fun part.
Okay. Yeah. What about you, Qui?
Well, 8-year-old me was so different from who I am today because I was outside. Like from the moment my mother allowed me to go out that door, I did not come back in until I had to.
Oh, really?
Like I would. It's a wonder that my kidneys aren't terrible because I would not go to the bathroom all day because I would be outside. I was not coming in the house. My mother would have to force me in the house to come eat. If it was hot, she'd have to force me in the house to come and take a little break. so I wouldn't get heat stroke, or like she would have to force me in the house.
So are you saying that you were one of the OG city girls?
Oh, not like that.
Well, I mean, not like Carisha, but one of the OG outside girls.
I mean, when I was
climbing trees and dresses.
Yeah, I was a tomboy.
Really?
Yes, a huge one. Like my mom, like to this day, she will tell you how I was her least problematic child, but I gave her the most when it came to clothes. Mm-hmm. Because she wanted us to be, cute and in these like nice little dresses and stuff. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna wear this dress, but I'm gonna climb this tree. And I remember one day she saw me out there riding my bike in this dress. And of course my dress was up because
she was on the bike.
I was on the bike.
And you ain't care.
I ain't give a damn.
I ain't care. And she was like, you out there showing them little boys your panties. And I said, well, this wouldn't happen if you let me put some pants on. And after that, she didn't give me any problems. I could wear pants after that. Like, she didn't have any problems with me wearing pants outside after that. Because it was like, she wanted me to be cute. And I was like, I don't want to. So, I mean, I was like in trees, like riding my bikes down dirt hills and doing so much dangerous stuff. You know what I mean?
And you loved the dangerous stuff.
I did. I had so much fun. Like, I tell people, the best part of my life, if I have to compare my life from now going back, the best part of my life was my childhood. Like, I had so much fun as a kid. So as a kid, being carefree, the world hadn't done anything to show me how ugly it was at that point.
Yeah, the innocence. You saw the innocence.
Yeah, so I had stars in my eyes. It was like, yeah, I'm gonna be married and I'm gonna have at least 2 to 3 kids. Like, I'm gonna have a nice house, and I mean, I wanted to do so many things career-wise.
And a dog named Spanky.
Never.
I wanted a dog.
I wanted to like do things with art because I've always been an artistic person. Right. I wanted to do things with art. I wanted to, work with the police department because I wanted to be a part of missing person cases. Like, I wanted to do so many things. And I was like, at one point, I even wanted to be a pastry chef. It was like, I wanted to do so much. But then as I got older, it was like, you see these things and you realize that it's not all that you thought it was. By the time we had gotten to our 20s, I realized love wasn't what it was.
What do you mean?
Like, I had this false impression that dating was ups and downs, but you work through it. But by the time, no, let me explain.
Okay.
So I had this impression if that's what it was, because maybe that's what it was. But by the time we reached that age, it was not that. It was people.
It was struggle love.
Yeah, it was definitely struggle love. Like, I've learned early on that in order to be loved properly, you have to be abused, battered, and prove your worth. That is just how it is. I'm sorry, maybe it's not just a black thing.
That's how I feel. I feel like that's a standard that we are expected to prove our love by putting up with.
This is
your worth is determined by how much you're willing to endure. It's
like the whole ride or die thing, basically. Yes.
So it was like, I did not expect that when I had those stars in my eyes. So things kind of changed for me early on, and it was like I just saw things weren't what I thought it was. I realized that 8-year-old me had rose-tinted glasses on.
Right.
And now I see, that it's not. But what would probably make me cry if I told my 8-year-old self this is that none of what you believe is true. That would probably break my 8-year-old heart.
Wow.
That would definitely, none of what you believe is true.
In terms of what?
In terms of love, in terms of dreams, in terms of career. And the thing is, for me to be so into and love writing as much as I do now, it never crossed my mind as a kid. I always had like stories in my head and in my, I would think of stuff like that, but it never crossed my mind to write it down. I didn't even like reading until like after my senior year in high school.
Because I guess you weren't being forced to do it. It was something you could do at your own leisure. Right. You could read what you want and
right. So I mean, Yeah, nothing that I believed as far as like careers and everything. And the thing is, when we're kids, people tell you all the time, you can be whatever you want to be.
Yeah.
You can be whatever you want to be. Do what you want to do. You can go into any career you want to go into, but they leave out everything it takes to get there.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It took for me to, and the thing is, in some way, I actually did pursue all of those things that I wanted to do in some form of fashion. It took for me to go to school for criminal justice to realize, no, I don't want to do this. It took me to be in there to see crime scene photos and listen to how you profile a suspect for me to feel like, nah, I don't want no parts of this.
Wow.
It took me to actually make clothes to be like, no, I don't want to do this.
So is it okay? So let me pose this question to you, and hopefully I'm not jumping ahead in the questions I have on the iPad. Was it the fact that you didn't like the actual task or the actual thing? Or was it you didn't like the stuff that came along with it? Like the ancillary stuff that came along with doing those things?
I didn't like how it made me feel.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't as fulfilling as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to feel different.
Okay.
I thought helping people, was going to feel good. I thought, doing art stuff was gonna feel fun. It wasn't gonna be work, but it turned out to be work.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I always say that what I want, hopefully I'm not jumping ahead as well.
No, you're fine.
What I really want is to do something that's gonna make me stay up late at night and make me get up early.
Yeah.
Where I'm like,
there's something
I'm
love.
happy to stay up late doing this, and I'm happy to get up early to do this. Like that is my goal. And none of those things were that. None of those things were that. I was exhausted when I was pursuing my degree. I was exhausted. Like I still can't get those pictures out of my mind. And I have a strong stomach, so I'm not like it's not making me sick. You know what I mean? Like think about it's not
but
doing
the
anything
trauma
to me.
of seeing people like that, because I think you also are very empathetic or empathic person, and you connect with people in an emotional way, and to see that trauma in front of you was like don't
right. And then you realize that sometimes it comes from people doing it to other people.
Yeah.
This trauma comes from people doing this to other people. Or and that's another thing I can't seem to reconcile with. As an 8-year-old, I just had a different impression of people. And it is not, like I said, none of what you believe is true. Like I just had this innocent view of people, that there are good people, there are bad people. But these days it just seems like that line is so blurred. You just don't know where good begins and bad ends.
Really?
Just don't know these days. You just don't know.
Wow. You gave me something to think about. Let me take a sip real quick. Hold on. Shauna, so thank you for the mimosas.
You're welcome.
I gotta take a sip after that. That was deep. I feel like
I ain't mean to be deep. I'm just saying, I'm
deep is
just
good.
speaking candidly.
These are conversations I want us to have. We laugh and joke and had the funny moments thanks to Aaron. But over the past 3 weeks or 4 weeks, whenever. Anyway, but yeah, it's good. I think us having these conversations is worthwhile. So hold on, let me take a sip. Hold on.
I'm just trying to speaking candidly,
Ooh, that was good. Candid is good. Okay, so for me, what's true about today that would make my 8-year-old self cry? Both my parents are gone. I did not see that coming at all. Yeah. I didn't. As kids, we think our parents are infallible. We think they're invincible. They are just all knowing, all seeing. And then that realization we all come to, and I think we touched on this in the previous episode, that our parents are human just like we are. Mm-hmm. They have feelings, they have emotions, they have dreams that weren't realized. They have things that they wanted to do with their lives. But because of the way they were raised and the different different way how life was back for them in the 70s and 80s, and having kids and then having to put their dreams on hold to raise their families and prioritize their families. And then to see them as they've gotten older and be like, it is what it is at this point.
I didn't expect my dad to be gone this soon.
Same.
I didn't. I thought that, he would be calling me, trying to move in with me when he get old, and I'll be telling him the devil is a lie. And then I'll be getting calls from the dad going to assisted living place because he in there sexually harassing the ladies. I used to tell him that all the time. I said, don't go in there harassing them people when I put your ass in the home here.
we say this like Shauna's father wouldn't be in his early to mid 50s now. It's not like
he would be in his mid to late 50s. He was 20 years older than me.
Okay. So he be in his mid 50s. He's not like 95. Nah. Like,
I just didn't think he was going this soon. So I was expecting him. Like my grandfather just turned 85 the other day. My grandmother just turned 79, I think. So that's what I was expecting him to be that age, and I probably ended up being the one to take care of him. Look, if they gonna call me, I don't know why. Because I went from being the youngest child to being the damn middle child. I'm still salty. So it's been 14 years. I'm still salty.
But for me, like, of course, when I was 8 years old, family was around. I think my mother married my stepfather at that point. I think she might.
She married him when we were in middle school, right?
No, it was elementary school.
It was elementary school?
That was my elementary school. My pediatrician.
I'm sorry, that's still funny.
I wish
at least she married him.
She must have put it on him because but no, but like I didn't. My grandmother was still alive. Her siblings were all still alive. Yeah. I'm except for the one that died before I was born. But my aunts and uncles were still alive.
My grandmother was too.
And 8 years old, I thought I was. Of course, at this age, I was going to be married with kids. I thought, of course, I was going to be straight. But
really,
bruh,
that silence is telling.
I met you when we were 9.
That silence is telling.
How you doing? But I thought I would have been married. To be honest, that was something, honestly, that I hadn't even considered. The feelings were there, but it wasn't like, of course, at that age, you don't know what is in terms of sexuality and what that stuff. But I thought I thought it was a fleeting moment. Clearly not.
We had somebody else that we grew up with, and she told me she knew when we were in the 5th grade.
Knew what?
That she was gay.
Oh, knew that she was. I want to say knew about me.
No,
I guess I was the only one.
When we got older, I asked her how did she know, and she said she knew in the 5th grade.
In hindsight, I knew at a young age too. It was that damn.
Probably just didn't understand the feeling.
It was that damn Tupac. I was like,
I can't say I blame you.
I'm saying
I got good taste.
That's the first man I seen with a nose ring, and I was like, damn, that man fine.
I'm turned on to him from now on.
And he was chocolate.
Ooh, I had a
only bald head man that I lust after.
Really?
Yeah, she don't like bald head man.
I haven't evolved to that point yet.
I
haven't. It ain't for everybody.
So have I. Cheers. So have I.
Look, tank.
Clank.
I like hair. A man with hair is like, it's non-conformity to me. It's like I'm not conforming to society standards. So I like that. So
okay. Quick aside. Body hair, yay or nay?
I'm not opposed. It just as long as you don't look like a werewolf.
You don't want a full carpet.
Where are we talking?
Like, I don't want your back looking like I can like exfoliate my feet on it.
That's true. I can't. I dated a guy whose butt was hairy. I couldn't do it.
Oh, I love that.
I can't do it.
I'm not against a hairy butt unless it looks like taco
really
meat.
Weird. Maybe that's what it was. It looked really weird to me. I couldn't do it. I can't do a man with excessive pubic hair. Can't do it. It just has to be groomed. You got to moisturize that shit when you're in the shower.
Grooming is good. Grooming is good. But
I definitely love a groomed man.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
You got to be groomed. You ain't got to be naked like a baby enough. And just I don't want to be. You can't do it.
I'm not opposed to bald.
Fully bald.
I'm not opposed to it, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be.
But I'm not opposed to it.
I don't think
I didn't know until this. I was dating a guy, and
it was just
that was the first time I had seen a man go completely hairless. Mm-hmm. And it was like, I just like what it looked like because it was all pretty and brown and whatnot. So I was like, oh my God, that's nice.
Well,
I think that's the first time I had actually dated a guy who had went completely bald.
As the person in the room who probably is the only one who eats the booty like groceries, I don't mind because I'll just part it and keep on going. But moving on to finish my own question.
He said, I ain't stopping nothing.
Look.
Oh my
Where
God.
was I?
And I hate you so bad.
Then laugh about it later.
Mm-hmm. I hate you so bad. Yeah, and I can't do the.
Oh, I love chest hair.
I've seen it on guys where it wasn't that bad, but then the whole taco meat thing.
You gotta exfoliate. Hair is hair.
They need to, but a lot of they don't know how to do that.
Shampoo and condition.
A lot of guys are not good with grooming, so they don't know that shit is coarse and it's gonna cut you. They don't understand that. And you walk around here looking like Al Green. I can't do it. You look like one of my uncles.
Like he's sing Harry Pussy music.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I got feedback from that, by the way. One of my friends sent me a DM who listened to the podcast. He was like, it is Harry Pussy music.
See? Thank you for whoever co-signed that, because thank you. That
is what it is.
He was like, I ain't never think about it, but all these pussies was hairy back in the day.
Yep. See?
I'm so tired of
on
being
top and on
alone.
bottom.
I'm so tired of hormones.
They was fighting the power both ways.
Yes.
And the friction.
Yes.
Trying to tell
Causing
you.
fires.
Harry Pussy music.
Smelled like a fish fry in that mug.
I think.
Like a French fry or a fish fry, because the way that came out.
Hopefully it wasn't smelling like fish. But ooh-wee.
A lot of friction.
There was a lot of friction, baby. They was au natural back in the 70s. But
causing brush fires.
Not brush fires.
If it was moisturized, hopefully it was just nice and slick. Anyway, let's get back. Let me wrap this question. But yeah, I thought, I would have married, would have had kids. I didn't really know. I knew I wanted to do something creative. I knew that for me as a kid who watched a lot of television, I thought life was going to be like what I saw on television, like the Parkers or Moesha, or like having the nuclear family and going through ups and downs, but still being that unit. And of course, because that's not real, and life doesn't always work out that way for a lot of people or pretty much anyone. As you get older, you start to see what life turns out to be for you. And it's not, always the same. Hi, Trey. Shauna's son started walking through the room.
My honor roll student.
Yes, congratulations, Trey. I'm proud of you.
It only took me to threaten to take his life.
His voice is deeper than mine. Sweet Jesus, fix it. And on that note, before I get into the next several questions, we'll take a quick commercial break and we will be right back. And we back. And Trey's still here.
Being nosy.
Uh-huh. Yeah. So question 3, and you touched on this a little bit earlier, Laid Edges. What makes you forget to eat or poop? We've all had that experience where we get so wrapped up in something that minutes turn into hours and hours turn into holy crap, I forgot to have dinner. If given the chance, what activity or activities can you completely lose yourself in? Look at the activities that keep you up all night, but also look at the cognitive principles behind those activities that enthrall you, because they can be applied elsewhere. So I asked y'all.
I don't know if it can be applied elsewhere. I don't know how.
Say that last part again.
Okay, I'll reread the spiel again.
Okay.
So it says, we've all had experiences where we get so wrapped up in something that minutes turn into hours and hours turn into holy crap, I forgot to have dinner. If given the chance, what activity or activities can you completely lose yourself in? Look at the activities that keep you up all night, but look at the cognitive principles behind those activities that enthrall you, because they can be applied elsewhere.
The only thing that that will ever keep me from doing anything, I will say, is writing. That's the only thing that's ever kept me from. Oh, that's a lie. That's a lie.
Okay.
Because if I ever get to play Sims again, you know how that goes.
Oh yeah.
You know how that goes.
Yeah.
You be playing for 16 hours straight. I'm like, damn, I ain't eat nothing. My bladder's screaming. I really need to go to bed.
Trey is in agreement.
Yeah, see, I really need to go to bed. But yeah, definitely writing. Like if I sit down and I'm hitting my stride, I will be there for hours. And the next thing I know, I'm like, oh dang,
It's 3 a.m.
Yeah, let me go to bed. I gotta go to work in the morning.
I think schoolwork does that for me, because once I get into a groove.
But you do. It's something you enjoy doing. You enjoy doing schoolwork.
So no, that's not necessarily enjoy it. Not necessarily enjoy it, but I'm comparing it to what Key just said about when you get into the stride of doing something.
But it's something that you love. Something
for me, it would probably be like binge watching something on TV. If I get into a good show, I'll look up and it'll be like 4 a.m. I'm like, why am I still woke? Because you don't realize it because you get into it. And reading is like that for me too, in which I have not gotten a chance to do that lately because I got so much
pleasure.
going on.
Yeah.
Read for pleasure, yeah. Because them learning resources, I've been sitting there like,
yeah, I can agree with that, definitely.
that stuff, I get distracted trying to read that, and I have to take frequent breaks because I'm staring at the laptop, and some of this stuff is too much to print out.
Right.
You know, some of it is printable, but it's too much.
Right.
But if it's something I'm interested in, like they have had some interesting articles these last few weeks. Some of the topics we've had, particularly in my behavior, I think it's like a behavioral psychology class. Parenting Today, I took that because I was like, if I'm gonna take this credit, I'm gonna do something that I find interesting.
Right.
And back to what I was saying, some of the reads can be interesting, but I guess because you got it in your mind, you're doing this shit for schoolwork, you know. But if I can get a good novel, I might get up in the morning and start reading that book, and I might take a break long enough to. Matter of fact, I ain't even taking a break to go to the bathroom. I'm going to go to the bathroom with the fucking book in my hand. If it's a hardback book, or if it's on my Kindle, I'm taking on my Kindle app. I'm taking my phone in the bathroom with me, on my table in the bathroom with me, because I don't want to miss nothing.
Right.
Definitely.
And I'll find myself. I'll start a book first thing in the morning, and it'll be 2:00 the next morning,
and you're done.
And I refuse to put it down because it's that good.
Yeah.
I love reading those kind of books. I'll be so glad when I can get back to doing that.
And is it because it's like,
I'm gonna try to do that between my the break between my semesters that's coming up.
No, is that because it's an escape, or is it? Well, could it be like an escape from
from reality?
From reality,
yes.
Or
I
is
get
it
to live
like
somebody else's world?
The living in a different world.
I'm a very visual reader, so when I'm reading, I picture like the scenes in my head, how I think it play out, how I think these characters look based on the descriptions of the characters. Like, it's yeah. So that's why when some of these books have been made into movies and I see who they have playing these people, I'm like, that's not who I had in my head, but okay. They be hit and miss. I've read a few books and they've turned them, specifically urban novels. And they have hoodlit. They have turned them, a few of them, into movies, and
it doesn't translate. Or the
one that did kind of translate for me, which was Dutch. Dutch translated pretty good for me because I kind of pictured him like that, and they had Lance Gross play that character, play Dutch, and that did something to me.
Okay, so you kind of sort of answered the second part of the question about how it can be distilled into something else. But before I get into that, what I think for both of y'all, my thing was like she played The Sims. I love The Sims too.
She tried to get me into the Sims.
My thing was Sim City. Again, with me.
Did you stay up all night playing that shit one night?
Oh, yeah.
After senior prom, I told you I got home from prom at 7:30 in the morning, and I stayed up until about 8:00 that night.
Oh, my God,
playing Sim City. But again, it's a newer game called City Skylines, which they just announced City Skylines 2.
Okay.
I had to corrupt the file on my computer because I would get off of work.
You corrupted it on purpose?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I would go in. I remember one night I told myself, all right, it's about 5:00. My work is done. I just got off work. I worked out this morning so I can chill. I'm going to play. I'm going to set an alarm on my phone. Come 10:00, I'm going to get up and start getting ready for bed in the morning. I said, fuck that alarm. I looked up. The sun was coming up. I was like, it's 6:30 in the morning? The fuck?
Time flies when you're having fun.
And I was so in this. I hadn't gone to the bath. I hadn't been in the bathroom for like a good 7, 8 hours. I hadn't eaten anything. I was literally just zoned into the game, designing stuff, putting stuff.
You ain't had no hunger pains? You wasn't dizzy?
No.
Nothing?
Nope. I had my water, my trusty blue double insulated water bottle next to me. I would take my little swigs of water, and I was literally.
So you were hydrated.
Yeah.
So baby, that's why you.
But I had to pee.
It's like you forget about it. You know, especially when you get into a game. It's like you be like, I feel it, but oh well. Yeah. I'll go in 5 minutes, and then that 5 minutes come and go, and you be like, I'll go in 5 minutes, and it's like you keep extending the time.
3 hours later.
Exactly. Exactly.
Try not to pee on yourself. So. One thing while you were talking about books and getting lost in novels, would you ever consider becoming like a movie critic or like a book critic?
It's funny you said that. He suggested that some years ago that I should do, what did she say? We was going to try to do something unique, like review books or something while I was cooking or something like that.
Almost, you know how like people cook and they do story times,
Or like the lady that was doing the makeup and telling the crime stories. That was that was a dope ass concept. Like she was literally sitting there doing the makeup. And she was like, "So yeah, some, and then he killed her, and then
she's made
her body was found.
millions.
She's amazing. Like her stories are so freaking entertaining.
Off of that.
So what I will say to you is, in case y'all haven't figured it out yet, well, y'all haven't because we haven't ever mentioned it, but we do have an actual LLC. This podcast is a hobby, but we bought our business, and this is an LLC, and we have the infrastructure. So if you chose to start a separate standalone podcast under our podcast network,
would it be a podcast if it's on video? Would it be
video podcast.
Okay, I didn't know it fell under like the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, we have again, this is TMI for y'all, but whatever. We have a media management company, so we have the infrastructure to do that.
Could you imagine us like all having like just different? That would be cool. I'm gonna put some thought into that. Oh Lord, that mean I had to look like something on camera. Let me get my life together.
Well, you technically don't have to show your face. You can just have the camera angled down towards your hands, show whatever you're doing.
Or that's why I mentioned like the audio component. It could just be a separate podcast where you sit and discuss books you read, or sit and discuss movies, or the book to movie translations, and give your opinions on like all of that, and see like what your thought process is. And I think there is especially for a lot of Black media, a lot of urban lit, a lot of stuff that's done for us by us. There isn't necessarily a lot of reviewers, because a lot of the Siskel and Eberts, if they're still even alive, I haven't heard their name in decades or years.
I think
one of them is still alive. I think
Ebert is still alive.
Okay, is Ebert and Roper now?
What was it last? Because I used their website for one of my projects for school.
Okay.
And I think it's just Ebert now. I think it's RogerEbert.com or something now. Yeah.
Okay. But maybe your passion is, if you can get lost in books and you can distill that and give your opinion, you already know you're funny. You already know that you have the humor to be able to tell stories. That could be a pivot for you.
Take into consideration. That's cool.
And we already have, like I said, we have the infrastructure for it. So why the hell not?
But your facial expressions make it funnier.
And the funny part about it is I don't realize I'm making faces until y'all say something.
Well, same.
So. Yeah, I think I'm gonna consider that.
Now let's pivot on over to laid edges.
Laid edges.
Yeah, laid edges.
I ain't getting on no goddamn camera.
Well, no. But for you, I think the thing for you is just creation. You like to create. You're a creator. You like to art, and I think to distill down the dress design, the writing, the everything you've done. You said you like art. Maybe your passion, maybe it may not, creation may be a part of it. What about art curating? Have you ever considered maybe launching a gallery, or like maybe like an online gallery space where you put your art in, but you also broadcast or show other talent, because you have the background for art since you were a kid, and that for you could be
like Aunt Viv is doing on Bel Air.
Yeah,
that'd be dope. Because I'm going to put it out there that she's the one that designed our...
She was the one that designed our logo.
She designed our logo.
Laid Edges is creative, y'all.
Very.
She is.
Very.
She low-key with it. She like to sit back like she doing now and sitting with her arms folded. But Laid Edges designed our logo. I went to her first. So, I mean, it's there. You got
somebody to do something.
It's in your bones.
When we got people...
It's in-house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We know something you like I said, you are a creator. So generating things and making things. What about production? What about producing, in terms of not necessarily like producing art? Of course, you want to produce your own art, but art production. What about producing Shauna's content?
That would be cool, because I trust her.
I mean, I don't know that I would definitely have to think about that, because I've, never considered anything like that. But when it comes down to it, like, I like to stay in my own little lane, create my own little lane, because it can get very, very messy when you start to deal with other people's art.
Doesn't
because
it always?
Because what Erykah Badu say, I'm sensitive
an artist,
about my shit.
And I'm sensitive about my shit.
Yeah, so and that's a lot of people. And when it comes to people being sensitive, you don't really understand or grasp how sensitive they are until you say something that you don't realize that you're saying, and it kind of cuts a little deep. So I try not to stray into those lanes of stepping on anybody's feelings or anybody's heart when it comes to their stuff.
Okay.
So, I mean, at one point I was like going to do like book reviews and stuff like that. But I had to stop because I was getting bombarded by a lot of people wanting me to review their stuff.
Okay.
And it felt very quickly like, let me try to say this. It went very quickly from being something I was enjoying to feeling like work.
Right.
Because these were people that was like, oh, yeah, you read this, can you read it? And there would be a lot of stuff I really was not interested in.
So I want to see if you just quote what you just said. You enjoy it. You enjoy the process and everything that goes with
creating.
Of creating until people get involved. You enjoy creating inside of a bubble and inside of a space that's free of outside influence, outside comment. But when people start to have input or ask for you to do things, is when you get overwhelmed and say, I don't want to do this because it's too much.
When it comes to their stuff. What I mean? Yeah, when it comes to their stuff. And the thing is...
But she's also her own biggest critic, too.
Yeah, always has been.
And the thing is, I don't like to criticize anybody's stuff. I don't, because and this is one thing I don't like. I'm going off on a tangent.
That's fine.
But this is one thing I've noticed that in my reclusiveness, that on YouTube, there are a lot of authors who like chronologize and document their journeys, and they'll show things. And then I noticed that a lot of these authors will also give advice, and that's what kind of makes them popular with a lot of YouTubers, because they give advice on how to write this, how to write this, and how to write this. And I've come to find there is no correct way to write anything.
That's from their perspective.
And it's like when you giving this advice, and this advice is not helpful to everybody. And then sometimes I read the comments, and there will be people that saying, well, that's not true. I mean, like, these people will be like foaming at the mouth coming at them. And I'm like, no, I wouldn't even be putting myself out here for this, because I've learned also that you should not respond to negativity in this
read the
industry.
Comments.
Exactly. Don't go into reviewer spaces. Those are for readers. They are not for you. And it's just, I've come to learn a lot of things. So I just like to stay in my lane. I create my own. Like, I don't feel like I fit in anybody's category. So I stick to myself, stay in my own lane. So that's why I've never really considered like involving others.
So it's funny y'all mention this, and I was going to mention this.
Well, what about you though? Like,
well, y'all tell me, because I just did both of y'all, but y'all have to tell me. Like,
so Brandon,
based off of what I said.
Because you know, you mentioned us having the whole media thing. You do photography.
Okay.
So how could we like monopolize on?
But the difference is, I based my opinion off what y'all just said just now. I haven't mentioned photography at all today.
No, you did, but you had mentioned designing. Even when you weren't mentioning designing, you mentioned Sim City, which is basically all about designing.
Real.
And then you mentioned, as a kid, like you wanted to do like basically renovate and stuff like that. Yeah. Well, there is, a way to kind of incorporate that if you wanted to go a little further. People are constantly trying to renovate their houses and redo things. Like currently, I'm like, what can I do to my house to change it up a little bit?
Same.
And
interior design. I've thought about interior design.
Boom. And see, either you could do that, or you could provide digital models for ways for people to shape up their houses. They to change their houses around.
Because you got some great stuff in your house.
Exactly.
Like with your lights and...
Thank you.
The way your plants are set up and the way you got your albums all set up and your little...
I went to Miami and splurged on fucking records.
So I think you have a eye for things as well.
I've thought about getting into
your room when you
interior design,
your paint colors and how you matched everything up and everything. Put your room was great, but you put that pop of color in there, so it brought everything together. And then you got your art to match and all that stuff like that. Yeah.
You too much. No, keep going. I've actually... So somebody did actually ask me a while ago to like help them put together like their space. And it fell through. They ultimately ended up choosing their own thing. But I was like, first off, what's your budget? Because I need to know what you're spending. I need to know where to look. But I mean, if you want me to help you, Key, I can, point you to some things. I know the type of stuff you like now.
I got a lot to do right now.
You always
before I move in. I do, because I'm a one-woman team. I'm everything for myself. So yeah, that's a lot.
Q, Shaka's every I am every woman. It's all in me.
Not the drunk versus version. Because she sang every other word.
I spell tell That still was entertaining as hell. I'm sorry.
Versus has fallen all the way off. Shauna, can you hit me with another mimosa, please?
Because people were sick of it.
Yeah, and they
started to get too commercialized.
Yeah, they sold it, and
if they do the one that they've been speaking of doing, if they do the one that they were speaking of doing recently with
just dropping everything.
They dropped both tops on the floor.
With I think it was Diddy versus JD. I think that would be dope.
Like producers versus.
Mm-hmm. I
didn't think they were serious about that because they were saying in order for Diddy to do it, they felt like he needed to pay everybody he owed money to first.
I mean,
you know, I will say they missed out on a second edition of Coachella because the Ozzy Brothers versus Earth, Wind & Fire was my shit.
Oh my God, favorite.
Mine is Steve Harvey not shutting the fuck up,
looking like Darkwing Duck.
He did look like Darkwing Duck.
Oh, I forgot he was there. I was too busy lusting after Ron because he was looking
yes, with that beard,
attractive for the first time in his life.
Well,
like Ron,
baby, I was like la 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 la.
I think they missed a lot of opportunities. You know, like was Charlie Wilson ever a part of that? That probably would have been amazing.
But who would he go against?
The second edition of Coachella. Mm-hmm. Should have been the Whispers versus the OJs.
I would have loved that.
Or like the Gap Band.
Baby, everybody getting pregnant.
The Gap Band versus, I would say the Temptations, but the Gap Band versus.
Ain't but one original Temptation left.
Well, yeah. Ain't nobody come to see you, Otis. Well, they are now.
They did.
Yeah, it is now.
Because he the only original.
But have they ever done, they did a 3-way versus before, didn't they?
3-way? Yeah. No, it was like a 15-way. It was,
Dipset.
No. Well, no, technically, because it was a group versus a group.
Yeah.
Dipset versus the Lox.
Yeah.
Which the Lox killed. I'm sorry.
I only watched that for the Lox because I've never been
I did too, because Jada killed that shit.
I was a huge fan of Dipset.
It was a 4-way. It was Ray J.
Oh, God.
Sammy, Pleasure P.
And Mario.
Pleasure P and...
Mario versus Omarion was a separate one?
Yeah, Mario and Omarion was separate.
Okay, I thought that was all together.
But it was... Oh, and Bobby Valentino. That's who that one was. And then they ended up creating a super group, and yeah, they should have left it alone.
I think they really missed the opportunity with what happened with D'Angelo. That was a great thing.
D'Angelo and Friends.
That could have been a great way
know who else to do and Friends?
Because it could have been
Mary
and Friends.
It could have been Missy and Friends because could nobody go against Missy? I don't think anybody
who somebody suggested for that? Missy and Busta, because they both were very original.
But Missy's more so a producer though.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say why I don't agree with that one, because Missy's catalog goes beyond producing. Think about it. She was in vocals for so many songs. She wrote so many songs. She was the background
on Free Yourself.
Yes,
and if you listen to the song, you can hear her voice in the background.
You can hear her.
Yeah,
so I just think her range just went so far.
That would have to be Missy and
background
Friends.
For Jasmine Sullivan, background for Monica.
She did the things you do with Gina Thompson. She produced it and she was on the track.
Yeah,
that's still a bop.
That remix.
Oh my God, is that on my playlist?
So real quick, y'all know LSG reformed.
How?
Eddie Levert.
Really? You lying?
Yeah. Ooh. It reformed like 5 years ago.
That just did something to my spirit.
But yeah, they reformed. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Eddie Levert took Gerald's spot.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that just did something to my spirit.
I'm not sure if they've toured as LSG, but I think it was either Keith Sweat or Johnny Gilbert on an interview.
His thing.
Then they were like, "Yeah, we've reformed with."
Maybe I just didn't pay no attention
Eddie
because
and Gerald's spot.
Last time I went to see Gerald, I went to see Keith Sweat. He just worked my nerves. I was ready to go. Yes, that's exactly what was going on. I said, because put the Hennessy down, Keith.
It's some people that don't perform well live, and I think.
But I saw him live previous to that, and he was good.
I mean, they can, but some of them just don't all the time. They hit or miss, and I think Tank is another one. I don't ever like to see him perform
I just
live.
saw.
Really?
I'm going to see him. I'm going to see him
multiple
soon.
times.
We saw him when he first came out live. Remember at the AFRAM
he was the same every time.
Yeah.
He sang a little bit, want the crowd to sing, turn around, take his shirt off, want to take pictures with you instead of singing. He's taking pictures with people in the front row. Motherfucker, I paid my money,
and that's how I felt about Keith. Sing. Like, sir, stop talking and sing, make it last forever, so I can go home.
Exactly.
So,
sing.
But I'm about to actually see both of them live because I'm going to the New Edition show.
Okay.
So Tank is the opening act. Okay. Now the video that I saw, he was really good, and somebody posted a video online. And so I haven't seen him live since the first time I saw him live. And then I haven't seen Keith since the last time.
Okay.
But, you know, I'm mainly going for New Edition.
Right.
So I don't care.
But let's get back on topic because we went on another side, which I think was pretty funny. Question number 4. Mm-hmm. How can you better embarrass yourself? Embrace embarrassment.
Okay.
Feeling foolish is part of the path to achieving something important, something meaningful. The more a major life decision scares you, chances are the more you need to be doing it. Before you are able to be good at something and do something important, you must first suck at something and have no clue what you're doing. That's pretty obvious. And in order to suck at something and have no clue what you're doing, you must embarrass yourself in some shape or form, often repeatedly. And most people try to avoid embarrassing themselves, namely because it sucks. Ergo, due to the transitive property of awesomeness, if you avoid anything that could potentially embarrass you, then you will never end up doing something that feels important. So let me ask y'all the question again. How can you better embarrass yourself?
I have no clue. Honestly, I have no clue.
Me neither.
In my field, no clue. None.
You really don't? Because you said it before. You said it earlier.
I did?
Mm-hmm.
What?
By entertaining other folk in their shit?
Not necessarily entertaining other folks, but I think for you, in the way you could embarrass yourself more, one thing you could be more comfortable with is being on camera.
Oh, no.
You hate it.
Absolutely not.
And she takes the best pictures.
I mean,
Absolutely
girl,
not.
you're gorgeous.
She is. That's my thing. She takes the best pictures.
Absolutely
On
not.
a bad day, she fine as fuck.
First of all, why is my baby in the background co-signing? Like, I'm gonna need y'all to stop.
My best books. Am I lying?
Stop.
You're not. Give it to me.
You know what?
Trey.
Am I lying?
You know he can't talk. You can't tell him nothing about you.
The cheering
You know
don't laugh.
this.
Absolutely not.
You know this. You can't tell him nothing about his Aunt
Absolutely
Qui.
not.
In the world, she the prettiest. She the best cupcake maker ever in
She
life.
is.
That's what you always say, Mom. Aunt Qui is the best cupcake maker
I miss those
ever.
cakes, by the way.
No, I ain't lying about that. I've seen some of your books. They are.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Get him out of here before I cry.
Look at you getting all that emotion now.
I don't know for me, B. I don't know.
I feel like she grinning. She know what is it? It's something on the tip of your tongue. What is it for her?
Shauna has never went forward with the stand-up.
Nope.
She's never done that.
Nope.
She was supposed to.
I'm
But not
scared.
necessarily. But not necessarily that. I feel like, I don't know if this would embarrass you, but I feel like if you were to start even a small cooking channel, I feel like that would be huge for you. It didn't even have to be a big thing. It could be like TikTok shorts. You get what I mean?
We have the infrastructure for it.
I know.
All we have to do is buy a camera and
I be seeing these videos. It's this one girl, I cannot think of her name, but she tickles the shit out of me. And she was like, first she was like,
Real ratchet.
the one, you add some sugar to it, like your baby daddy got in his tank. That's the other girl. I like her.
I love
She
her
tickles.
too. I love her too.
What is her name? Kimmy.
Kimmy,
She
yeah.
makes me laugh. I like her too. But this other chick is so ratchet and it makes me giggle. And it's like, she said, if it don't look like this, then you ain't doing it right. And then like she just slides in these.
That's the next thing I'm cooking for y'all, by the way.
It's so crazy. So I probably could do something like that, but I guess with my own spin on it. I just gotta psych myself
what's the
up.
spin?
Put the whole goddamn
I don't know.
thing of garlic in that bitch without peeling it.
Well, she's just for the sauce. She's gonna pull it out.
That look good, but I'm still stuck on her putting the whole goddamn thing of garlic in there.
You won't taste it.
Because I'm sorry, because some folk don't wash stuff.
If you boil it, boiling it kills everything.
Didn't look bold when she put it in there. It looked very dehydrated.
Not bullet
You know
and
what,
kills
Kim?
everything.
This the next thing I'm making for y'all, by the way. When next
It
time y'all
looks-
come
it
over.
looks good, though.
Next time y'all come over for dinner.
Side
All right.
note, my front door opened within 20 minutes, and both of my sisters are there.
So, all right, for me, how can I better embarrass myself, y'all?
Embarrass yourself. This is such a tricky question because I just don't, thinking of embarrassment. I just don't know. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Let me rephrase
Embarrassed.
the question. Let's not think of it in terms of embarrassment.
Yeah, because I'm stuck on that one word.
How could we each put ourselves out there to achieve or attain a goal that we have?
I think a lot of the stuff y'all just said probably.
For me?
I mean, if you are really wanting to try interior design, I think actually create some models. You get what I mean?
That's a good idea, Trey. I think I'm going to give me a bowl of cereal before I leave.
It's plenty of it in there.
I don't know it is. You be shopping at Sam's.
Just, create some models. Like, even if it's, like take a room from your house and redecorate it, in a digital model. Or you could do mine. You could do Shauna's. You know what I mean? And it's like...
I need a new design for my bedroom. It's boring.
Oh, I can do that. That's easy.
I need some color.
That's fun. I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see the embarrassment in it. But I do see that you could kind of, if that was something you really wanted to pursue, you could put yourself out there. And maybe even ask a couple people, like, you have a room you're struggling with in your house? Like, send me pictures of all 4 walls, all 4 corners of that space. Mm-hmm. Like, just send me pictures of that space.
Think of, was it Trading Spaces on, was it TLC? Used to come on?
I think it was TLC.
That's probably the one show I never watched.
Remember that lady went down there and the lady flipped out? She was like,
oh, and she hated it.
What the fuck is this? She was like,
only saw the result was she didn't like it.
She did.
I didn't see the show.
It was kind of tacky.
She was like, no.
It looked like
they was like,
out of the 70s.
Well, what about this? And she was like, no.
I wanted a Prince wall. And they had a little red Corvette on the coffee table. She was like,
what the fuck is this?
They were stunned.
The husband was sitting there like
I could have told your ass is that.
She wasn't going to like this. Mm-hmm. Well, how about that? How about I'll do a room for both of y'all. I'll do your bedroom. And what room do you have in mind?
Because Key bedroom already fire.
I know.
It's so pretty.
I know.
I look a mess right now. Maybe my living room.
Okay.
I do want to change my living room around somehow.
Okay. Me too, actually. I need to change my colors.
So you want me to do bedroom or living room?
I think I want to do my bedroom because I got a little color down here. Right now, I think I want to do my bedroom.
Okay,
it's just so plain.
So
now.
that's my project for the summer.
Okay.
I'll promise y'all by Labor Day. Y'all don't have to do it, of course, but I will submit something to y'all.
Okay.
A full room refresh.
I'll take it.
Y'all gonna turn me into a whole damn interior designer.
Listen, baby, multiple streams.
We need that because, brother, I got bills that need to be paid, listen, and I don't want that to turn stripping.
My bills got bills.
Big luscious.
Big luscious.
Yeah, it's my OnlyFans name. I don't have one of them, by the way.
Shit, I need one.
Sure, don't we all? I can sell feet pics. They take them. I got big feet.
My mother was like encouraging it for a moment. I was like, listen to you.
She was?
Yeah, I was like, Mom. I was like, Mom, I'm not doing it. She said, why? She said, as often as you go get your nails done, get your feet done too, and take pictures. And I'm like, oh my God, Mom. Oh my God.
She with the shits and I love it. She with the shits and I love it.
That's what she said. She was surprised.
Definitely with
you
the
know,
shits.
you think she's like this meek, quiet, nice woman, and then next thing you know, she's telling you how to make homemade Molotov cocktails and how to destroy your car without leaving evidence. And I'm like, Mom.
Well, you had to get it from somewhere. Right? So, I mean, it's not surprising at all.
Thanks.
Because I've been calling you her name Junior for years.
But she surprised me because I was like,
where you think you got it from? I mean,
really?
I'm just saying.
She was like, no, you don't put sugar in the tank. You do this, 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 and this. And I'm like, maybe I need to talk to my dad and ask him what he did. But you learned how to do this stuff.
Ciao. Next question. How are you going to save the world? You're probably not going to fix the world's problems by yourself, but you can contribute and make a difference. And that feeling of making a difference is ultimately what's most important for your own happiness and fulfillment. What problem do you feel you could solve based on what keeps you up at night?
A problem? Mm-hmm. I don't think I could solve a problem. I can provide people with an escape from their problems.
That's a problem. Well, the humdrum of life is a problem, and you could solve that by providing an escape through your work.
Agreed. Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Oh, I guess I answered the question for them. Shauna?
I don't know. I can make people laugh. So
we know this, but you need to get work on that stand-up comedy act.
I know, y'all. I'm nervous. I'm gonna choke him. But yeah, I can make people laugh.
That was Aaron. That wasn't me.
Make people happy with food and drinks and shit like that, though. I guess that's it.
Okay. How could I save the world? Through interior design. I just promised them on air. I guess on recording since this isn't live.
We got witnesses.
Yeah, all 6 of y'all that listen to this podcast.
Not all 6 of y'all.
We appreciate y'all. We appreciate y'all. But yeah, I've already said that. So I have my project that has to be done by Labor Day. Next question.
You'll be really saving people's some stress because imagine going into a room that you're super sick of. I'm just over this. I'm unhappy. Walking in here makes me depressed, and then boom, here you come with this fresh idea.
Have y'all been to the Container Store?
For what?
Have you heard of the Container Store?
No.
Next time y'all come down, we got to go because it's in Rockville. Child, they just got containers for everything. If you are a fan,
I love me a good container.
If you are a fan of organizing like I am, and that is my Virgo rising speaking, because I don't know why the hell I love organizing shit so much. I just do. Just call me Marie Brocondo because I just be organizing shit at home. The Container Store has a container for literally everything. You can organize your kitchen and your living room and your dining room and your laundry room and your...
Yeah.
Next time you come down, we can go to the Container Store because I had to walk out before spending all my money. That's why I got the air fresheners from the Pura.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I bought more of those, by the way.
So let me find out that your birth chart is that diverse where it's
I showed you my birth chart, didn't I? It's Virgo rising. Sagittarius sun, Gemini moon, Virgo rising, Scorpio Venus, Mars Pisces.
I'm jealous.
Why?
Because mine is psycho to the bone. I'm a Pisces. It's Pisces, Scorpio, Pisces.
So you all water.
I never looked at mine.
And then I think it's a little Cancer in there.
Download the pattern.
I'm like, what?
The pattern?
The pattern.
It's all Pisces. I'm like, good God, I just can't escape it.
Really? So you're 100% water. There's nothing else.
I think it was a little sage in there. Yeah, just a little bit sage in there, but mostly water.
Yeah, mostly water. Yeah, I'm all over the place. Like I said, Sagittarius sun, Gemini moon, Virgo rising, Mercury's in Sagittarius, Venus is in Scorpio. My Mars is in Sagittarius. No, Mars is in Pisces. Yeah, child. Yeah, I'm all over the place. We were talking about the Container Store, but yeah, if you love organizing. Oh, child. It's a Virgo's wet dream. And there's just so much ways to organize. You can put stuff in containers and bins and, okay. But yeah, the Container Store, shout out to them. How could I save the world? I guess through interior design. We already talked about that. Next question. And this is in all caps, so I guess I'm going to read it forcefully. Gun to your head if you had to leave the house all day, every day. Where would you go and what would you do?
Damn.
I said, I wrote it. So it's in all caps on the script. That means read it forcefully. So. Did y'all get it? I need to reread it.
Yeah, reread it again with force because that threw me. That threw me off.
I would say for the record, we're not drinking hard liquor. It's just mimosas with juice. So
it's just that it was in caps. That's what threw me off.
Look, Shauna, it's literally in all caps.
Oh my God!
You want me to read the forceful way again?
Yeah.
Gun to your head. If you had to leave the house all day, where would you go? What would you do? Yeah.
If I had to leave the house with a gun,
let me finish this.
I could go anywhere I want to go.
The spiel, yeah. For many of us, the enemy is just old-fashioned complacency. We get into our routines, we distract ourselves. The couch is comfortable, the Doritos are cheesy, and nothing new happens. This is a problem. What most people don't understand is that passion is the result of action, not the cause of it. Discovering what you're passionate about in life and what matters to you is a full contact sport, a trial by fire process. None of us know exactly how we feel about an activity until we actually do the activity. What can I do with my own time that is important? So again, I'm going to ask the question. Gun to your head. If you had to leave the house all day, every day, where would you go and what would you do? And no, you can't go to a coffee shop to sit there and people watch all day.
Damn.
I knew that was going to be your answer.
Damn.
How would you break out of your daily routine, your the complacency
they just
you
had to kill
have?
me.
Oh, shit.
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
Oh, Lord.
I'm joking. If I had to go to the house and leave, if I had to leave my house,
money wasn't
all
an issue.
day,
You could leave and go wherever and do whatever. What would you? And it was up to you. You didn't have to work. You didn't have responsibilities. No work. Tay was good. And you just had a free day.
It would just be a full day of like fun stuff to me. Like
fun day. Okay.
Aquarium, zoo, eat somewhere nice, maybe movie, like different stuff like that. Stuff that we used to do as like carefree teens and kids. It'll probably be stuff like that.
Okay. So that's the fun stuff. But in terms of reaching a goal or stepping towards an action, if you had to walk out of the house and go somewhere to work towards finding out what you're passionate about, what place would you go to? So we talked about you. It's creating, right? It's creating art. It's creating maybe space for people to escape through their lives. So where would you go to maybe jog your mind to give you ideas for a new character or a new book you want to write? Where would you go and what would you do?
I'd have to people watch. I would have to people watch. I mean, I think I would probably just go to probably like the most populated places and probably just like sit down and try to integrate into the setting. You know what I mean? I guess I would just like, especially if it was like something that I'm writing at the moment. I think I would probably, I don't know, maybe I would travel. You know, maybe I think I would go to like a different state, spend like maybe a week in a different state every day.
Have you ever gone to dinner by yourself? Like gone to a restaurant, sat at the bar and just had dinner?
Yeah, and I ended up meeting somebody. So it didn't work out too well, you know.
Would you be opposed to doing that again?
No. Definitely not.
That's something I say. I've gone to the movies by myself. I don't know. I feel weird about going to a restaurant, just sitting at a bar by myself with just like my phone and just eating a plate of food and getting up and leaving. It feels weird to me. I feel like that's like a social activity.
Yeah, I don't particularly like it, you know, going places like that alone because it does feel very social to me. And I don't end up alone the whole time, you know what I mean? And it's like, the thing is, if I go out with a goal of wanting to be alone and I don't end up alone, it kind of defeats the purpose.
We know late edges because you gorgeous and you pull them in, but no effort.
No effort whatsoever.
No effort. You just sit there and do a little head flip and you got somebody up in your face. Hey, beautiful, how you feeling today?
Oh, God.
Well, I mean, I'm saying. So, Shauna.
Yes.
You answer the question, man. Do I need to rephrase it?
Yes.
Forceful way again?
Please.
Yeah, like a little forceful.
Okay. Gun to your head if you had to leave the house all day every day. What would you do? What activity would you do? Again, cost isn't an option. Time isn't an option. Your schoolwork isn't. Trey is good. He's in here playing games or distracted by TikTok dances or Return of the Mac or whatever he's in here doing. Brian and D are good. Your mother's good. You have a day to yourself. Just escape and go somewhere to yourself. You could something that's fun is good, but something that would get you out of a sense of complacency towards fulfilling a goal or a purpose. Because remember, the whole overarching theme of this is finding your purpose. So
I would probably go do an improv class.
You should actually do that.
I would probably do an improv class. I would probably do a cooking class.
While you playing.
Even though, I mean, I can cook, but
there's nothing wrong with
I would probably do a cooking class to learn new skills. I would go somewhere that would make me laugh.
Oh, wow.
You would need a gun to your head to do that?
To do the improv class, probably. Not the cooking class, though. But to do the improv class.
The same thing I said. Hey, Blue Eyes.
Because I think that's one of my biggest fears, getting on stage in front of an audience. Like, it's so crazy, though, because I get to karaoke and I put on fucking performances like my name is Beyonce. Okay? But it's just something different about possibly getting on stage in front of people and they don't think my jokes are funny and then I'm up there stuttering and looking crazy. So, I don't know. I can't really think of anything else.
You have plans next Saturday? Damn.
Concert next Saturday.
You're lucky. You are so lucky.
Yeah,
I'm going to keep this open because I was about to sign her up for this. I ain't going to show her what it is, but I was going to sign her up for that. And just send that information.
They over here
it's paid for.
Don't say that. I ain't do nothing.
It's paid. But are you opposed to this stuff? You opposed to it?
I plead the fifth dimension.
Oh, you doing that too? That was my thing.
Good answer.
Yeah, see?
But are you opposed to her doing that though?
I'm Switzerland.
You can be neutral. It's a good thing.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But, you know, Comfort. I'm all about comfort.
But comfort, I literally just read this. I gotta unlock the iPad again.
You know, she gotta be ready to jump out there, even a little bit. You know, gotta be a little bit high, maybe a little bit drunk. She's not there right now.
But
if she was there right now, she'd be like, yeah, I'll do it.
What's the way to get over your fear but just stepping out and doing it?
That's true. I have to be.
So this is what it is. This is an intro to improv class. It's $20. And I was going to pay for it. And say, take your ass there, it's paid for. Don't waste my money.
Shit.
2 hours.
Pick another date.
I will. I'm going to keep this open.
Okay.
And I'm going to send you the confirmation saying, take your ass, it's paid for. Don't waste my money. Here.
Okay.
And it's a class. I mean, it's not like you going on stage. They may have you going on stage in front of people in the class, but it's not like you going to the Madison Square Garden with 30,000 people saying, hey, y'all, I'm Shauna. What's up? What y'all doing?
Child, I've been and fainted and died and came back to life.
It's a small step. I made a goal and a promise to both of y'all for something that I said I would do. And I said I would do that by Labor Day. So will you agree to making this improv class your goal to meet by Labor Day? It's a class. It's not actually being on stage.
Yeah, I'll do it.
You'll do it. If I pay for it, will you do it?
I'll do it.
You heard this, right, Kiana? Y'all heard this, 7 listeners.
We got a new one that quick.
Yeah, we got a new one. They come and go.
Somebody else popped in.
They popped in. So, $20 intro to improv workshop. I'm going to say it again. Okay.
I'm going to do it.
Okay. Well, these is more expensive. I might need a little help on this. These intro to improv classes, they're $285.
Shit.
But I mean, hey, it's a 7-week course where you learn the basics of improvisational comedy. Noted. I will keep that in mind.
Okay.
And I'm going to send you the confirmation and tell you when it is.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to check first because I don't want to book it and then you not be available.
Right.
Because you be booked and busy and stuff. Oh, sorry. I have something scheduled. I'm so sorry. I can't.
You sound like Aunt Ruth. Like, I was calling to see if I can get a spot on your social calendar. I was like, listen, I didn't know I had one of those.
Booked and busy, ma'am. I'm just saying.
I didn't know I had one of those.
You are booked and busy.
People just be signing me up.
Did you sign up for the pattern too?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about it because it's a drag, ain't it? Did you read your profile about yourself?
I did not, but looking at like my pattern, like it really is all water and then Sagittarius.
So we'll talk about that. We'll do a one-time segment after we finish the question because I have one more question left, and then we'll close this before we get into the Q&A. We'll do the pattern segment. So, I guess I wrote this in caps too. So, time for another forceful question.
Oh shit!
If you knew you was going to die one day, but 1 year from today, what would you do and how would you want to be remembered, nigga? Not too much.
Did you write it like that?
It's in caps.
Is nigga at the end though?
No.
No,
That's what I was looking for.
No,
oh my God, B.
Oh my gosh.
If you knew you were going to die 1 year from today, what would you do and how would you want to be remembered? Ultimately, death is the only thing that gives us perspective on the value of our lives because it's only by imagining your non-existence that you can get a sense of what is most important about your existence. But ultimately, I'm going to read it again. Death is the only thing that gives us perspective on the value of our lives because it is only by imagining your non-existence that you can get a sense of what is most important about your existence. What is your legacy going to be? What are the stories people are going to tell about you when you're gone? What is your obituary going to say? Is there anything to say at all? If not, what would you like it to say? And how could you start working towards that today?
Yikes.
I know, right?
That was a lot.
Wasn't it?
Ooh.
That was deep, wasn't it?
I think I would want mine to reflect me meeting my dreams, I guess.
Which are or which is?
Well, they have adjusted over the many years. I used to want to run my own restaurant more so. Now I want to own one, that features my recipes and stuff like that.
But you don't want to cook every day.
No, I don't want to be the cook every day.
You want to be Gordon Ramsay. You wear the chef coat and tell people what to do and cuss at people.
The name is mine. The recipes are mine.
But then you walk away.
I maybe run the day-to-day or...
You got a personal chef.
Yeah.
You got the executive chef. You the owner of the restaurant.
But I don't want it just to be a restaurant. I want it to be a place where people come and can enjoy themselves. They can eat good. They can drink good. They can do karaoke. We can have theme nights. We can like stuff like that. So I will want to have met that goal.
Keep talking. I just got an idea. I'm sorry.
I will want to have met that goal. I will want to people to have good things to say about me.
What about opening your own comedy club?
I never thought of that.
Because you literally just mentioned all of that. Mm-hmm. And what would incorporate everything you just talked about? What if you had the money to reopen Kibby's and call it Shauna's?
I would love that.
Gosh.
I would love that. We had so much fun in Kibby's. That used to be our spot.
Open mic nights and karaoke.
Yeah, I would do open mic nights.
Your recipes cooked by an executive chef, and you have the bar.
I would definitely do that. I would definitely
You have
do
that.
that.
It's sectioned off with one side that's the restaurant and the one side that's like the entertainment space.
Like Kibby's was. Kibby's was like,
I mean, that's what I mean. It's already sectioned
Her
off.
picture in the front door, like.
Me in the front door for what?
No, picture of her on the door because it's Shauna. Why would you be on there? Not you, lady. That's just Shauna on the picture on the door. Like,
I would love that. Actually, I would do something like that.
That would be amazing.
I would do something like that. I would want to that goal we met. I would want to my obituary to reflect me as a person, how all the good I did for people. Like I went to somebody's service recently.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it was one of Qui's family members, and they spoke so highly of her and all the things that she accomplished and how good of a person she was and how much she gave back to people and did for people and stuff. And I want people to remember that about me. To remember I would give people the shirt off my back. You know, if I got $2 and you need $1, I'm gonna give you one of them dollars. You know, if I got a sandwich and you hungry, we gonna split this sandwich. We both gonna be okay. You know. So I would want that. I want people to say good things about me. I would want people to share the stories of how I made them laugh or, you know, cheer them up when they were feeling down. Or, I would want that.
So what I am going to say, and it's maybe a bit more ribbit, I'm going to say it. Y'all know Sheila put her wigs on doorknobs. We going to miss her so much.
Go to hell, Brandon. They are in the closet now.
Are they now in the dressing room?
It's a couple in the dresser.
Okay.
But my dog tried to pull one out the closet yesterday, and it was hilarious. I was in the closet getting some shoes, and I forgot I had just flung it in there. And I looked back, and she was pulling out the closet like... I was like, Chase, she said... I know it looks like a play toy, sis, but that's not what that is.
Okay.
That was my good hair. Put that back.
Okay, Kiana. So what do you want your legacy to be? What stories you want people to say about you when you pass? What and how could you start working towards that today? How do you want to be remembered?
I don't know. I don't know. And it's funny because having that conversation with my mom and my sisters, and I was like, you know, if I was to pass away, I wouldn't necessarily want a funeral.
Really?
Like, don't give me a homegoing service. I would rather have like a memorial where it's almost like a celebration. You know, don't have somebody preaching about get right with the Lord. Like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. I want people to talk about what they had with me. Share memories, laugh, do those things. Cry if you want to, but I don't want that.
I can't be up there telling your family, you know, she was best friend by telling these niggas, suck my dick.
You can do that. My mama slapped me out there, can't
She probably slapped me.
Then she gonna smack me too, because I'm gonna be laughing. The same way I just laughed is how I'm gonna laugh.
And my sister's
she gonna give me that eye.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like,
my nephews will laugh.
Your mother scared me. I don't mess with her.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want the typical homegoing and
I want to be
preaching
celebrated.
and praying. Yeah,
Celebrating.
laugh like my
We'll have praise
sister's
dances at your funeral.
my sister's mother-in-law. We literally had a party for her. A party.
like
we did
you
not
walked
have a
into the
funeral.
funeral home and they was playing Mary J. Blige.
It was a party.
I walked up in there
decorated.
like, oh, we getting crunk up in this dancery.
It was decorated like a party.
Okay.
There
Yep.
was a photo screen and a photo booth. And it was and it was her last party. And that's what it was, because that's what she wanted. She did not want that typical everybody.
She didn't want to be
walking around
mourned. She wanted to be
crying.
celebrated.
Yes, exactly. And that's how I feel. And if my obituary had to say anything, I wanted to say that I always wanted people to smile. I don't want to see anybody down. I don't want to see anybody upset. So that's what it is. I always wanted to see people smile. I just wanted to create. That's it. That's it.
We gonna prop Shauna up in the corner with a cigarette in her hand and the wig.
No, listen. If anybody try to prop her up with a damn cigarette, they gonna be sitting next to her. I'm gonna drop kick that damn cigarette, and they gonna be sitting next to her.
I'm gonna spit my motion to the mic.
Fresh pack of Newport sitting there with the wig on.
And I'm gonna snatch them, and she ain't gonna get them back that time.
No, she ain't be able to chase.
I ain't
Exactly.
be able to get them.
Exactly.
I ain't be able to.
She don't get them back. Most of the time, I take them anyway.
I ain't gonna be able to fight back this time.
Exactly.
She gonna say, go there and say, I finally got him, y'all. She ain't moved
I'm
yet.
a horn ass too. She gonna wake up and be sitting on the side of the bed like, really, bitch? This what we doing?
That's okay, because I'm gonna hold on to that last pack of cigarettes, and every time I feel your presence around me, look, every time I feel a presence around me, I'm gonna take a new cigarette out that pack and go, every time I feel you,
She makes me
I'm gonna
sick.
snap it.
This is some bullshit.
Happy birthday, Shauna.
Right.
Some bullshit.
Okay, how do I want to be remembered? How do I want, what do I want people to say about me? What is my obituary going to say? I don't know. Part of me has this feeling that like my funeral will just be empty.
Why would you think that?
I have no idea. I think because I'm so insular and off to myself so much time, I feel that I've had a dream before where like I've been at my own funeral. I'm in the casket looking over my own body, and my sister, nieces, and nephews are there, but nobody else showed up. And it's like, well, damn, nobody else showed up?
I can't imagine it.
I can relate.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Because I really don't care for people. The thing is, I will show up for some people, but if I feel like I don't get the same thing from you, I'm not doing it.
I had to learn to do that.
Yeah.
And like I said, my perspective of people has changed drastically.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you would have asked me 10, 15 years ago, I would tell you I still have the same friends.
We love you.
Yeah, my circle has closed drastically. It's like a decimal now. Well, damn.
I thought they were supposed to storm early. They said it was supposed to happen around 12.
Well, child, it's been 85 degrees past 4 days in early April. I mean,
Yeah, but
I saw
stop by the time we go to dinner.
I saw a tweet yesterday that said, y'all want to be at that age where I sit outside of my porch with a rocking chair saying, we needed this when it starts storming outside. I'm sorry.
I don't. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
I don't ever want to get to that point. That's how I know I've hit the old lady, bring me my cat status.
With a cup of tea with some brandy in it.
Listen, I take the tea and the brandy now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll take the tea. I don't need no brandy. Unless
I don't want no brandy in my tea, but
just brandy no wood.
Yeah, I don't want no brandy in my tea, but I'll take them separately.
But yeah, I mean, it's a fear of mine. Like, and I don't. Of course, it's irrational because I have family, I have friends who would show up and who would definitely be there.
Yeah, because I'm gonna have to get dragged out if you go before me.
Well, I know. But yeah, I mean, and I guess this just speaks to my personality, and I know that I'm an introvert, and I've always, even as a kid, I would stay to myself. But I always question, like, am I losing out on fostering connections with people because I am so closed off? Am I losing out on, like, building rapport and building relationships because I'm comfortable in, and this goes back, I guess, maybe more so into complacency. And of course, I understand that as an introvert, I know that I recharge my batteries and my personality and everything when I have time to spend by myself. But because, again, with the pandemic, and like we said earlier, Key, because I've gotten so used to being by myself, going out of the house and being around people is like,
it's a chore.
Do I want to do this?
Like, I found myself, I started that during COVID, like ordering groceries and stuff. Like the other day, I could have took my ass to the store.
Well, that's one thing.
Like, I just didn't want to.
You didn't want to go.
I didn't want to leave the house.
And
I didn't.
Maybe it's just me. This is how I know I'm my mother's son, because I still enjoy going to the grocery store. The only time I've ever ordered groceries is when I had COVID, and I had them, and I still went. And they put it in the trunk of my car, and I drove back home and unloaded my own shit. But I never like order groceries. I don't really like ordering anything. But I think that's also because I'm cheap and not because, I don't want to leave the house. All right, in closing, discovering one's purpose in life essentially boils down to finding those one or two things that are bigger than yourself and bigger than those around you. Values that will determine your priorities and guide your actions. It's not about some great achievement, but merely finding a way to spend your limited amount of time well. And to do that, you must get off of your couch and act, and take the time to think beyond yourself, to think greater than yourself, and paradoxically, to imagine a world without yourself. Now, me and Shauna did this, and we both made promises or have a goal to achieve by Labor Day, but Qui, we didn't give you one, or you didn't come up or agree to one. So what's one thing you feel that you can do based off of the conversation we have, or we've just had, to maybe push yourself forward in a way?
I don't know, because I think about stuff like this all the time, and then I tell myself I'm going to do it, and then I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
You talk yourself out of it? Yeah.
Not necessarily talk myself out of it. I tell myself, no, I ain't doing it.
Well, what's one thing you've told yourself that you're not doing that, and why?
One thing I told myself that I'm not doing is I'm not joining TikTok for the book side of TikTok, because there's a book talk, and I was like, I'm not doing that.
Child, I love TikTok. I have an account. I don't post nothing, but I just use it to watch videos. There's so much good stuff on TikTok.
I only have it so when people send me videos, I can see it.
Yeah. But you're talking about posting on TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not using TikTok. Yeah. So no, I'm not doing that.
Okay, what else?
I'm not doing it.
We each have one actionable thing to work towards. So it's the three of us. What one thing can you work toward by Labor Day?
Would you submit one of your stories?
Hell no. To the no.
Y'all see what we deal with?
No. To who?
Book pipeline?
No. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to tell you why. Mm-hmm. I have come to learn since the pandemic started that a lot of these things are meant to discriminate against my types. If you get what I'm saying.
Okay.
And one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to subject myself to a bunch of old white bitches telling me what they want and what they don't want, because I don't give a fuck. So that's what I'm not going to do.
Okay.
So sorry if that sounded a little prejudiced or not nice, but that's basically what it comes down to. A bunch of middle-aged 50, 60, 75-ish looking women saying what should be and what should not be.
I think we just lost that one follower. We're back down to 6 now.
Sorry, I'm just not going to be.
Sorry, Mary Beth.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but when it comes down to it, I'm not going to be told how to create. I'm going to create what I want, how I want, and when I want.
As you should.
Okay, so maybe not putting yourself out there in terms of that. What about creating something new? Like maybe what about a short story?
I've tried that, and the way my brain is set up, it becomes a full novel.
Okay.
I've tried. I really want to. I mean, that would be very beneficial for me right now.
We talked about it.
But it always gets extended somehow. Like the idea continues to grow.
Okay, so how about this? Since I don't want us to be sitting for the next 3 hours trying to cajole you into something, how about you think about it? And in 1 month, we'll come back to the table.
We'll revisit it.
And we'll do a status check, product progress check update, and let's see if you have something by then.
We can try that.
Can we try that?
We can try.
Are you open to trying it and actually following through with something?
We can try.
Just take it. Just take it.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that.
I'm
gonna take it. And on that note, we're gonna take another commercial break, and we will be right back with our next segment. And we back. Good Lord. What are we getting into this week, Shauna?
Lord, fix it, Jesus.
Jesus.
My apologies, because I feel like I disrupted the flow.
No, you didn't.
With my seriousness.
No, you didn't.
That was fun. So, hey, y'all. Before we hop into these questions for this episode's segment of the Q&A, if you have any questions that you would like asked or answered on the show, you can reach us on all of our social media platforms, IG _WandaPod _, Twitter is the same, right? Correct. And on Facebook at Wanda. at Wine and Sign Audacity, the podcast.
Damn straight.
You can also reach us via email at askwandapod@gmail.com. That is ASKWANDAPOD@gmail.com. When you send us the messages, you can let us know if you want your name used, if you want your initials used, if you want first name, last initial, last name, or if you just really don't give a damn.
Okay.
And we will respect your wants.
Will you?
Maybe, depending on who sent me the question.
Unless they say they want to be called Big Dick Bandit.
Of all names.
Baby, I think you on the wrong podcast. This ain't that type of podcast. Right in us.
So this first question, guys, I came across this while scrolling on Reddit. I love Reddit. I just find some interesting stories on Reddit. And I thought this fit in with the topic of finding your purpose this week. So this person says, I feel like I'm losing myself. I don't know who I am anymore. I'm a 28-year-old female and I feel unaccomplished. I have a great job that pays extremely well and I'm grateful for I'm grateful for it. But I feel like I'm not as creative as I want to be. I'm a property manager and I spend most of the days in the office sitting at my desk. When I'm done with work, I go home to my 2 kids. My spouse helps out when he can, but I don't feel like it's enough. I feel like my days are just going by and I don't know what to do. How can I pick myself up before it gets too late? I don't want my life to go by and not feel happy. Mm-hmm. I'm not complaining, I guess. I'm just looking for guidance. So I guess the question is, what advice would you give her?
Okay.
I'm sorry, I missed that because I got lost at the sitting in the office thing. It took me out because I'm like, oh God. I could relate so much and I zoned. I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna need you to read that last part again.
Okay. So when me sitting at the desk all day? Mm-hmm. Okay. So after sitting at my desk all day, when I'm done with work, I go home to my 2 kids. My spouse helps out when he can, but I don't feel like it's enough. I feel like my days are just going by and I don't know what to do. How can I pick myself up before it gets too late? I don't want my life to go by and not feel happy about it. I'm not complaining. I guess I'm just looking for guidance. So what advice would you give her?
I can relate so much.
Same.
You got to find ways to break up that monotony. You have to not go home right away every day. Mm-hmm. Maybe make a stop and go do something you want to do, or start finding things that are an incentive for going home, something you have to look forward to. As long as you have something to look forward to, it stops feeling like, it won't feel so much like a chore and it won't feel so routine. Like, I got to do this every day. I'm not looking forward to this. I got to do this again. And the next thing you know, 3 months went by and it's like, I feel like I'm stuck, like I'm drowning here. So I just suggest implementing little things to kind of change up the routine a little bit. Even if it's like, when I go home from work today, I'm going to watch a movie. Or when I go home today, I'm going to watch a couple episodes of Breaking Bad and I'm going to, order pizza and have popcorn or whatever. Or before I go home, I'm going to go and maybe window shop, or I'm going to go buy myself something. You just have to find ways to break up that monotony. Or even instead of going home right away to your partner or whatever, like go out with a friend, dinner with a friend, or go for a walk or something. It's just, you just got to find ways to kind of break up that routine. That's the only thing I could suggest as a recluse, my damn self. Mm-hmm. So that's all I got.
What she said, yeah.
It's hard. Once you get stuck, it's hard to get out of that.
Complacency it just robs you of so much. You get used to being in your routines, doing what you do every day, and you look up and so much time has gone by. I think we touched on this earlier, and it's like, damn, what have I been doing with myself?
Right.
Yeah. I think the thing also, to piggyback off of what Keith said, is just you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And I think that's a lesson not just for you, but for all of us. There are things that we want to do, goals that we have, things that we want to try. But we, and I'm speaking for myself here, we have to learn to step out of our comfort zones and just do it. Be Nike. Just do it. Mm-hmm. Just do it. Get up, put one foot in front of the other and move.
I agree.
I can give you a prime example of this. When it comes to working out, I talk myself out of it so easily. I can tell myself, oh, I'll go to the gym. Oh, I don't feel like it. Oh, it's hot outside. Oh, it's blah, 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 blah. But it literally is. And I learned this from my therapist. Shout out to Miss Howard, because we have to do our mention of her and shout out to her in every episode like we've been doing.
Absolutely.
She said, get up and put your shoes on and just walk out the door. Don't stop and think about it, because every time you stop and think about it, you're talking yourself out of it.
Second guessing yourself. Just put your shoes on. If you need to go out for a walk, put your shoes on, get your water, keys, get your headphones, eyeglasses,
Walk out the door. That's it.
It would be me to be like, all right, don't think about it. Just get up, put your shoes on, and go for a walk right to Cold Stone.
I wish it was one in walking distance.
I know. I wish it was too. Just walk to the car and go to Cold Stone.
Oh, it is. It's starting to warm up. It was the perfect time for some Ritas.
And they reopened already.
I mean, Ritas in a long time.
I mean, it's been at least 5 years.
I think the last time I had it. I think the last time I had it is when we were with Aaron and he embarrassed us.
Oh Lord, that was years ago.
Yeah, that was
the time he talked about on that episode.
I've had it since then.
Yeah.
I've had it since then. So yeah, that's my response. So what's next, Shauna?
So I want to close this question out by saying I agree with both of y'all said.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's just you just got Nike. Just do it. Just do it. As a parent, you have to have something for yourself. Yep. It's not selfish to want just a little something for yourself. It doesn't make you a bad mother. It doesn't make you a bad spouse, because at the end of the day, before you were a mother, before you were a spouse, you were you.
You were you. You still need yourself.
It was a uniqueness about you, and that was something that made you happy and something that made you smile prior to all of that. Mm-hmm. Don't lose yourself.
Nope. You don't want to look up, once your kid's out of the house, gone to college or moved out, and you're like, I've been so focused on them that I haven't done anything with myself for the past 18, 19 years. Mm-hmm. And now you're trying to make up for lost time because you spend so much time focusing solely on your kids. You got to prioritize yourself, prioritize your happiness in whatever way you can, so you still have something for yourself when it's just you at the end of the day.
I agree. Yeah. So I hope the person who submitted that question just so happens to come across this podcast and that the advice that we gave you helps you.
That's lesson number 8.
The best.
They gonna find it.
Number 8. So
we gonna go up one every episode.
Yeah, we are.
Except the last one, but we went down one.
Yeah. Well, they got a little offended by that comment, but I think they came back.
Mary Beth came back. Welcome back, sis.
Hey, Mary Beth. Hey, sis.
Love you, girl. Love you, girl.
But this last one, guys. I wanted to throw something silly in there.
Oh shit!
It's not that, Brandon.
We can get her banned from there.
It's not that one, I promise. But no, this one was just a random one I came across.
Okay.
So, and then it was silly because of this wasn't really a heavy topic, but we dived into some shit a little deeply. So I just thought this was funny.
Yeah.
What are 3 items you can buy together at the grocery store that will make the cashier laugh? I got mine in my head, kind of.
You go first.
So I said duct tape, like KY jelly or something like that, and like some kind of weapon or something, like a hammer or some shit like that, like shit that don't go together. Because it looked like you a serial killer. Bro. They like, wait.
That wouldn't make no cashier laugh.
They'd be like,
look, I'm sorry, maybe
it's 911 under the counter.
Like somebody in the car.
Like maybe it's just me, but I don't know why I would laugh, because I was like, ooh, this motherfucker is crazy. What the fuck kind of shit is they fitting to get into? Like, I had
mine.
You do? Yeah. What is it?
Condoms, sprinkles, and a floral arrangement.
I would laugh because I'm like, he gonna take them flowers and then he gonna sprinkle them and fuck the shit out of them or something like that.
I would laugh. I'm like, what the hell he got going on?
That's a combination of some shit.
That's definitely y'all would not believe what happened at work today. That's one of them.
This nigga walked out with condoms, some sprinkles, and a floral arrangement.
Like
and it ain't even Valentine's Day.
I got another one.
Okay.
Like condoms, whipped cream, and like honey or some shit like that.
It's all sex related.
I would blush.
It is.
I would blush. I would. I was like, oh, you want to get it just okay. Any kind of condiment along with condoms would make me giggle.
I feel like I'm gonna be judged for this.
What?
It's a safe space. I mean, I feel like walking out with food items wouldn't, because they're in the grocery store, so you'd think people would be buying food items together.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
what would make me laugh? I'm thinking in terms of Walmart. What would make me laugh if I was a cashier and somebody walked up and they bought these 3 items? It would have to be whipped cream, a Halloween mask, and a spatula. Like, what the fuck is you planning to do with that?
They about to flip it, rub it down.
Like, they're gonna be flicking the whipped cream off the spatula onto her butt cheeks.
With the mask on? Like,
they gonna have the mask. That's Mr. Nasty time.
Like, what are you doing with this?
Mask on. Fucking mask on.
Bro, oh my God.
That will make me laugh. That will make me laugh. Oh, God. All right, so that was the last question.
Was it the last one?
Yeah.
Well, we thank you for listening to this week's episode. Like Shauna said earlier, you can find us online at WonderPod_ on Twitter and on Instagram. Also, you can find us on Facebook at Wine and Audacity, the podcast. I want to give a quick shout out to 2 of our listeners, or I hope listeners. I think it's Scott and Jennifer. Whenever we post on Facebook, they are the first people to always like and comment. Well, they don't leave comments, but they always like.
Scott is my friend. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Scott.
I didn't know who that was. He's always the first person to like our post when we put him up.
I didn't know who it was. I was like, you know who Scott is? I was like, I don't know who Scott is.
I asked Brandon. I was like, who is this?
My friend.
But shout out to Scott and Jennifer. We see you. We appreciate y'all for listening. If y'all are listening, if you just liking it, either way, we appreciate the support. We love the support.
Okay, we also want to shout out another listener, my boy Diego. He listens every week. When we went on hiatus for a couple weeks, he was like, when the next episode? When y'all coming back? So shout out to Diego. He listens every week. Shout out to my bonus mom. She listens while she's at work. Well. She does. She be cracking up at us. Yeah. And I'm trying to think of, it's somebody else who said they listen to us.
I want to give a shout out to my friend Nick, who actually made the comment about the Harry Pussy music. He was the one I want to give a shout out to, because he listened when we went on hiatus. He was like, "Oh, excuse me, when y'all come back some new episodes?" But we got listeners out here, y'all. We love all 7 of y'all.
We do. We do. It's a few other people. If we forgot you, we love you anyway. Even if we ain't named you by name, we appreciate you sharing the podcast.
Write us some comments. Write us some questions.
And one more shout out. I want to shout out my girl Chi Chi, the comedian, because she shouts us out and allows me to shout us out every Tuesday at karaoke. Hopefully we can get her on the show soon.
We have a topic in mind for her to come on this conspiracy theory.
We do. So we going to try to get her on for that episode, because we could use that comic relief for that. So shout out to my girl Chi Chi, the comedian. She is top 3 funny female comedians in Baltimore. Okay. Follow my girl on IG. I guarantee you're going to get a laugh.
I cannot wait to meet her. And with that being said, we love y'all. We thank all of y'all for supporting us. We will be back next week with a new episode. Key will not be on next week because she got stuff going on, but she'll be back after that. And I think that's it for us. We'll see y'all next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye.